In this video, we will look at multiplying two decimal numbers with base 10 pieces. The focus of this standard is using models, drawings, and strategies based on place value to compute problems. Here we'll look at finding the product of 3 1/10 and 2 3/10. Before we begin to solve, we should estimate so that we can determine the reasonableness of our final answer. I know that 3 1/10 is close to 3, and 2 3/10 is close to 2, and that 3 times 2 would be 6. This lets us know that our answer will be around 6. Now, to begin to solve using the base 10 pieces, we are going to use the pieces to create an array. And we are going to create an array that is 3 1/10 by 2 3/10. When students are first working with this, it will be helpful for them to think back to their work with arrays in previous grade levels. For example, if this were just 3 times 2, they would make a 3 by 2 array and find the product of 6. So this is very similar to that. So we'll start by making our 3 by 1. So it's 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, and then 1/10. So there we have 3 1/10. And this is going to be 3 1/10 by 2 3/10. So 1, 2. So here's by 2. And then we need 3/10. So I'll put the 3/10 right down there. And so now we have the outline of the array. We will just need to go ahead and complete the array. We'll have to finish up this 3 1/10 by 2 3/10 array. So the first thing we see is that right here we could fill in 2 more holes. So I could complete this part of the array with 2 more holes. And that makes sense because here's where we had 3 by 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. So there we have 6 holes. Over here we know we had 3 1/10, and we need that 1/10 2 times. So I see I need another 1/10 right here to help complete the array. And then down here we'll need to fill in, well, I know we had 2 3/10, so here we had 3/10, and we do need that 3 whole times. So I can go ahead and put another group of 3/10 right here, and then another group of 3/10 right here. Now what we have is an almost complete array. We just need to fill in this last little bit right here. And at this point, students might recognize, well, that the only piece that could fill in right there, where we're multiplying the 1/10 and the 2/3, is the hundredths piece. And so we could fill in 3 hundredths right here. Prior to multiplying two decimal numbers like this, students will also have had a lot of experience in recognizing that when we multiply tenths times tenths, the product is in the hundredths. So that could help them here as well. But we can see clearly that only hundredths could fit right there to complete this array. And so now we just need to look at, well, what are our partial products? So here we saw that we have 6 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 holes. Here we have 2/10, but we do have some tenths down here as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tenths there. Well, I know if those 9 tenths had just one more tenth from here, that would be 10 tenths, which is 1 whole, and we'd still have 1/10 left. So I know that by adding all of these tenths together, I have 1 1/10. And then lastly, I see here that I have those 3 hundredths that I would need to add together as well. So I'll write 3 hundredths. And so now I'll just need to add these numbers together to figure out the final product. I know that if I added 6 plus 1, that would give me 7. And let's see, I'll move this down a little so I can start to record this up here. So 6 plus 1 would give me 7. I see I have 1/10 here, There are no tenths there and 0 tenths in the 300, so I'd have 1/10. And then I know I have 3/100. And so this would let us see that the product of 3 and 1/10 and 2 and 3/10 is 7 and 13/100. And if I slide this down just a little more, we can be reminded of our estimated answer, which was 6. We thought that our answer would be close to 6, and 7 and 13/100 is close to 6. It also makes sense that it's a little more than 6 since we rounded both of these factors down for our estimate. And so again, this is how we can multiply two decimal numbers using base 10 pieces.